I am so excited to be here with you, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the You Are Made for Better challenge. You are here because you know deep down that there is more for you in life. There is better. If you want better relationships, better habits, better finances, anything that you desire to be better in your life, it all starts with you being willing to become better. I discovered long time ago that if I was going to change, if I was going to live a life that reflected the better that I craved, I had to grow as a person. So how did I grow? There came a point where I just said, enough is enough. I know you've been there. I had enough of running in circles, enough of feeling miserable, enough of pretending that everything was
Who are
okay
you
when I
for
knew
real?
it wasn't.
Who are you?
I was tired of having the same type of relationships with men and women, friends that weren't fulfilling. And I thought to myself, it's got to get better than this. And guess what, y'all? It did. It got exponentially better. The moment I decided that in order to have a different in my life, I had to become different. I had to become a better version of myself. And that's exactly why you're here today, right? Because somewhere inside of you, you know that you were made for more. You are seeking better. I'm here because I've been exactly where you are. This right here, y'all, this is my better. And it's my burden. The call that I've been given to teach you and guide you through your own process to becoming better. I've helped so many of my personal clients locate exactly where they are and help guide them through the transformation. And tonight, I am honored, so honored to do the same thing for you. So tonight, this first day of the challenge, we're going to lay the foundation for your transformation. We're going to talk about the one thing that will carry you through every single season, every challenge, every opportunity, unshakable faith, and how you can shift your belief system to align with the better that you are made for. So go stay here the entire time because when we're done, I will do a Q&A. I have my team on there, so I'll answer as many questions as I can. Okay? Okay, so unshakable faith, what is it? Unshakable faith is the unwavering belief in the possibility of what you cannot see, anchored in your core, regardless of the circumstances or setbacks. It is the relentless trust that no matter the obstacles, the vision you hold for your life will manifest because you are committed to becoming the person that can actually sustain it. This faith is not passive, y'all. It's active. It's active, resilient, and fortified by your actions, convictions, and persistence. Okay? So let me tell you a story. Years ago, I was in the process of buying my very first home. Um, I wanted the home for myself and my children. I had become a single parent. And so I looked and looked and looked. I walked into this beautiful house and I knew it was mine, y'all. Like it was the house. The one where I could see my kids growing up, the one I saw in the visions, the one that I visualized. And I felt like it was made for me. Y'all know that feeling. Something is made for you, right? Well, I was sure. So I offered thousands of dollars over to get the contract. I just knew it was mine. So then I put it on every screensaver that I had so that daily it would be in front of me. Daily I would visualize me and my kids living in there. Like I just didn't quit. I walked in and knew it was mine. So maybe a few days later, I got a call from my realtor. And I was like, and she said someone else had been chosen for the house. I remember sitting there devastated, like holding the phone, like, okay, what will I do? Well, I had a choice. So I had a choice to get disappointed, or I had a choice to say, I'm going to believe. You know, there comes a point that either you're going to believe or you're not. And even though I started looking at other homes, I didn't budge. I waited. I refused to get anything that was less than what I knew was for myself and the kids. 6 months later, can we say 6 months? The realtor called again. And guess what, y'all? The people that had originally bought the house couldn't close the deal. And the sellers were now in a hurry to move. So not only did I get the house, but I paid considerably less for the house than I had even offered initially. So I tell you that story first because I want to break it down for you. That story wasn't about luck or coincidence. It was about what we're talking about tonight, which is unshakable faith. But here's the thing. Most of us don't realize how much our belief shapes our entire world. So think about this. From the time that you were a child, you were taught what to believe by your family, by your community, by the people around you. Maybe you were taught that money is hard to come by, or that success is for other people, not for you. Or maybe you can only be this successful, but you couldn't be hugely successful. Or maybe you were told that you should just be grateful for what you have. I know I've heard that. Just be grateful, Michelle. Just be grateful for what you have. But here's the question. I want you to start asking yourself, is what I've been doing and what I've been believing up until this point serving me right now in my life? Because think about it. Your life can only go as far as your beliefs allow. If you don't believe you deserve success, I promise you, you won't reach it. If you don't believe you're worthy of love, I promise you, you will settle for way less than you deserve. If you believe your dreams are way too big, you will never start. So now, y'all got a pen and paper? Write this down. 3 questions. 3. I want you to ask yourself about every single thing that you believe. And at any moment that you are triggered and you're feeling less than, you're feeling envious or jealous, you're looking at someone else's success, or like, why isn't it me? Or you're looking at somebody's Instagram picture and feeling like you're less than and becoming less confident, comparing your body. At any moment that you feel triggered, I want you to ask yourself 3 things. The first thing is, what do I believe about this? What do I believe about this particular thing that I'm triggered by? 2, why do I believe it? Where did the belief come from? Where did it come from? And 3, is it serving who I am and who I desire to become now? Now, if the answer is no to that 3rd question, then this is a belief that we got to unlearn. So here's the work. Here's how you shift your beliefs. You have to become self-aware, y'all. You have to become you can't change what you're not aware of. You got to pay attention. And not only do you have to pay attention, you got to tell yourself the truth. When negative or limiting beliefs come up, you got to stop and question them. Start questioning everything. Challenge your beliefs. Don't just take someone else's word for it as truth just because it's what you've always known. Dig deep. Do the work to understand whether the beliefs are serving you or holding you hostage. And then replace the old beliefs with new ones. Now, this part is challenging, but here's what you do. You identify the belief that you actually feel about yourself, and then tell yourself the opposite. This is the easiest way to do it. Tell yourself the opposite. If you feel like you're not worthy of success, you tell yourself, oh, everything is possible for me. All success is possible for me. I will be the only successful one in this family above and beyond. First, right? Until you start seeing changes in your life. And then you have to do what I did, which means take action, which means I chose to believe no matter what. Either you're going to believe or you're not. So let me go a little deeper than I just did. So let me help you. So as a little girl, I was a daddy's girl, right? My father was like my hero. He could literally do no wrong in my eyes. I adopted every single belief that he had. Everything he said, I took on as an absolute truth. He had these ideas about women. He said women should be quiet, sweet, and not loud. They should have a certain shape. They should be this much weight. The hair should look like long and luxurious. The problem was I wasn't quiet. I was loud. I was playful. I was curious. I was full of joy. And I had curves for days, y'all. And when I would hear him say things like, women should be seen and not heard, or be quiet, Michelle, you're too loud, I started to believe unconsciously that there was something wrong with me. Maybe because I wasn't all these things, I wasn't good enough. And maybe I just needed to shrink and be quiet so that I could be accepted by him and that standard of what a woman should be. Now, those words that he said might seem small, but I want you to understand how powerful the words were. They literally chipped away at my self-esteem little by little. And over time, I internalized the message that if I wasn't quiet, sweet, and reserved, I wasn't worthy. I didn't even question it until I became an adult and I found myself feeling miserable, insecure, and constantly doubting my worth. It was then that I started to ask the deeper questions. Why do I believe this? Like, why do I feel like I'm not good enough unless I have long hair, unless I'm quiet and I'm sitting here ladylike? Where did the belief come from? And so as I start to dig really deep, I realized that much of it came from those little moments when I was a little girl. Moments where I learned, shh, don't use your voice, Michelle. I literally have been taught to shrink. But here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. When I started questioning the beliefs, I began to see the truth around me. When you start questioning things, you'll see the truth. I looked around and I saw powerful, beautiful, successful women who didn't fit the mold that I thought they should. Not all of them had long hair. Not all of them were small. They were loud. They had loud laughs. They had bold personalities. And I realized if there was nothing wrong with them, then maybe there was nothing wrong with me either. So I want to be clear that, like, my daddy's still my hero. But guess what? Now I see him for who he is, a human being with his own beliefs shaped by his own experience. Some of the things he taught me no longer serve me, and I was never meant to carry them in the first place. I've literally had to unlearn a lot of what I learned in order to step into my own power. And that's what I want for you. This is why you were made for better challenge is so vitally important, because some of what you believe about yourself right now, right here today, is literally killing you. Because those things that I believe about myself literally almost killed me. These beliefs are the very beliefs that are keeping you from walking, from stepping into your power, walking in your freedom, and having the life that you deserve and you desire. So I want you to understand that you can unlearn the things that don't work for you. You can reject the beliefs that don't serve you anymore, no matter where they came from. This is the work. This is the work I've done to get here, to reclaim my power, to stand in my boldness and say, no, no, this belief isn't mine anymore. I refuse to carry it. Why is questioning your belief so important? Because most of what you believe comes from outside of you, not inside of you. People can only teach you what they know. And most of the time, what they know is limited by their own experience. But your life will only go as far as the level of your understanding. If you don't start questioning what you've been taught, you will stay stuck in the same place year after year after year. So here's the point of that story that I just told you. As I said before, people can only teach you what they know, but you're not limited to their knowledge or their experience. Your life will only go as far as your understanding. So what you have to get is understanding of who you are. So if you want more, you have to think better on a higher level. And this is what this is designed to do. What you believe about yourself determines how far you go, not what anyone else believes about you. So again, I ask you, what do you believe? Why do you believe it? Is it serving you now? So let me stop and give you some homework first, right? I need you to write this down. I hope y'all have a pen and paper. And I probably should have told y'all that in the beginning, but we'll keep this up. I believe we'll keep this up until midnight. So if you need to go back and rewatch or replay, then you can. I'm going over my notes to make sure I don't miss anything, because let me tell you something. I know how vitally this is, how important this is to your life, to your well-being. Do you know that time is not stopping waiting for you to get yourself together? The truth is, it's going to keep going. The truth is, the radio plays even if you don't turn it on. So what I want to guide you through today, and why I know it's so important, this is why I'm doing the challenge, because you want better. You deserve better. I want to see you have better, and I want to guide you to the better, because I'm not telling you something that I heard. I'm telling you something that I have lived, that I have lived through. Do you know that those beliefs had me on the brink of suicide? Do you know that those beliefs that were limiting, that weren't even my beliefs, had me depressed? Do you know those beliefs that weren't even my beliefs to carry had me stuck? Had me in bad relationships because I thought, well, it was like deep down, I think sometimes you don't know the thoughts that you have unconsciously. And so when something has been embedded in you, have you ever done something and you're like, why I keep doing that when I know it doesn't work? Have you ever been in a cycle over and over again with the same guy, or with your finances, or something in your family, and you're like, why in the world do I keep doing the same thing over and over again, and I don't want to do it? Because it's been embedded in you. It's an unconscious belief that you don't feel like you're worthy of having the best. I want to tell you that you are, though. I didn't feel like I was worthy of having the best either until I began to understand who I was. And when you start understanding the power that already exists within you, you don't have to find it. You have to step into it. And how you step into it is by identifying erroneous beliefs, by asking those three questions. And I'm going to say it over and over again. I've taught it for years, and I have watched it change woman after woman after woman's life that I have guided through this. What do I believe? What do you believe, sis? What do you believe? What do you believe about you? What do you believe about what you can have? What do you believe about how you're supposed to be loved? What do you believe about what type of wife you are? Who said that you had to stay home with your kids? Who said that you had to have a white picket fence? Who is making these rules? What do you believe about you? And I would tell you that where I got my belief system from was the one that created me. I went right to the Word of God. And you can try to get around it. You can try to read every self-help book you want to read. But I am telling you that I am clear that where my freedom came from is when I started reading about who God said I was. Do you understand? And so when the negative thoughts and all of the things come up, you have to start questioning. And when I say question it, I mean fiercely question it. Question everything. Because if you are in a place where you're stuck, you need to start questioning all your movements and the movements of the people around you. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing it like that? Why do you feel like this is the only way? Why do you feel like you cannot go further? Why are you stuck here? Why is it the same man but a different face? Why? Why are you gossiping? Why are you talking about her? Oh, I get it, because you're not clear on who you are. Because when you become clear on who you are, you have not an ounce of competition, not one. God says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I don't care what anyone says. You got to start knowing and understand the truth about who you are. And even when you don't feel it, speak the truth, because you've been lied to, you've been duped. You've been duped. And so has your family and your parents and the people that came before you. Because guess what? Abundance comes when you become better. And the wealth part of it is just not money. It's inclusive of money, but it is about your soul. It is about your freedom. It is about your peace. And I had to do this challenge because the emails, the DMs, the things that I get, it was like God was saying to me, no, 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 Michele. Step into your better. And your better is you got to guide, you got to teach. Your story is not just for you. And I'm not saying that about me. Your story is not just for you. None of this is about us. But when you learn how to serve and when you become clear on who you are, watch how God makes it about you. Watch how every step you take is stronger. That's how you shift the atmosphere. You don't shift it by your title. You don't shift it by your title. You shift it by understand who you are within. And so this is what I endeavor to do tonight. This is the journey that we're on. This is what I will guide you through. I have created some amazing, powerful tools for you all to have. But here's the thing. We are addicted to being lazy. We are addicted to being lazy. What you put in is what you will get out. Let me say it again. What you put in is what you will get out. And I'm not just talking about your job. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your heart, your soul. What are you putting in? What are you putting in? Because if you're putting nothing in, you can't expect to get anything out. This is hard work. But I promise you, the hard work will change your entire life. There were times when I was on the floor, sprawled out, crying in tears. Why am I here? If this is life, if this is all that life is about, then life must be a joke. That's what I always thought. And when I tell you the freedom that I walk in now, people didn't give it to me, so they can't take it. When you learn to do your work, this work, start questioning everything around you, and then you start acting on what you believe, even if it's little small steps. Me believing that that house was mine is because I got tired of not believing. I got tired of just doing lip service. I got tired of playing church. Either I was going to believe or I wasn't. Like at a certain point, you got to get gangster with it. And I'm telling you, the reason why I'm doing this challenge, because I felt it in my spirit. We don't have time to waste. You have to get a sense of urgency about your life and where you're headed. And you can't start the first of the year, because who told you the first of the year was coming for you? I'm telling you, your beliefs are killing you. So here's the homework. Here's the homework. I need you to identify one belief that you've been holding on to that isn't serving you. Let me say it again. I just need just one. Baby steps, better steps. Each step you'll get better and better. Small wins will equal up to the big win, but you have to be disciplined and you have to be consistent. This doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. You are so worthy and deserving of this. You are so worthy and deserving of the life you desire. Do not sell yourself short by being lazy. Identify one belief that you've been holding on to that isn't serving you. Write it down. Trace it back, though. Trace it back to, where did it come from? Where did it come from? Was it passed down from my family? Hey, was it the environment that was set up for me that I was in? Because your environment will shape who you are. It's an unconscious thing. That's why you have to be very intentional about who's around you now. Was it from your environment? Was it from a relationship that you had that was toxic and you took on the beliefs of what he said to you and how he wanted to control you? Whatever it is, trace it back, because it's different for everyone. But I promise you, if you sit still enough and trace it back, you'll find it. You'll find it. Number two, challenge the belief. Challenge it. Challenge it. Challenge it. Get gangster with it. Is it true? Is it who you are? Because if it's who you are, that's okay. That is okay. Because guess what happens when you're self-aware and when you tell yourself the truth? Now you can change it. Now you can change it. Is it who you are? And does it serve you now? Or is it holding you back? Is it paralyzing you? Number three, replace it with a new belief. Write it down. Remember, I told you, if you are confused, just write opposite of what the negative belief is. Write opposite of what it is. And write what you want in your life. I know we have a private Facebook community. You are made for better. Post your reflections in the community. Like, we can support each other on this journey. The more you share, the more breakthroughs everyone will experience, right? So in a few minutes, I'm going to take some questions because I'm just about done with tonight. But ladies, let me just tell you this. Your belief system is the foundation of everything you want to create in your life. Everything. It determines how far you will go and how much you would allow yourself to receive. Your unshakable faith starts by questioning, challenging, and rewriting the beliefs that no longer serve you. And as you shift your belief system, as you align it with the life you desire, you will begin to see tangible results of your faith, of your belief, of your action. Like I did with my home, and like I learned from the beliefs passed down to me, We all have the power to hold on to beliefs that propel us forward and release the ones that hold us back. The more you recognize the impact of those beliefs, the more control you'll have over your life's outcome. You are a co creator in this thing. Remember, you were made for better. And this journey is about uncovering that power, building your unshakable faith, and stepping into the fullness of your potential. Look at me. You are worthy. You are worthy. And what's meant for you will find you as long as you continue to hold on to your faith and take action. Okay, I'm getting ready to answer some questions, but do your homework, post your reflections because it is important. Okay, let me stop because got to go over here and I got to look at some of these questions so that I can answer for y'all. Okay, I have my team on here, so I'm not sure if y'all can move some of this for me. Jesus be offense. Hold on. If y'all have any questions, please put them in the chat. I guess if you don't, then my life, yes, your life will only go as far as your understanding. You have to change what you believe about yourself. And listen, the way you rewrite your belief is do exactly what I told you. Listen to what I said. Whatever the belief is, whatever the trigger is, wherever you see yourself stagnant in your life, whatever that negativity is, you'll know because whatever triggers you, there's a reason why it triggers you. You got to be honest with yourself. And so how you rewrite the belief is you first ask, what do I believe? Most of us don't even know what we believe or where the belief came from. This is why I'm saying ask the 3 questions. What do I believe? Why do I believe it? What do I believe? Why do I believe it? Where did it come from? You got to dig. This is the one that may have you sprawled out on the floor. This is the one that may have you in tears when you start realizing where it actually came from. But guess what? When you understand where it came from, now you get to say, hey, is it serving me right now? Is it serving me right now? And sis, if it's not serving you, if your answer is no, then you have to begin first write down the opposite of the belief that you've been believing all this time. And you got to constantly affirm it and you got to take action towards it. It is like baby steps. I didn't get here overnight. This took years. And I have taught women for years, but I have seen the results if you just do what I am telling you to do. Those 3 questions alone will change your life. Everything. If somebody raised their voice at you and you be like, or if someone is trying to tell you something and you automatically jump on the defense, ask yourself why. Why am I so defensive? Like, where did that come from? Well, I think everyone's attacking me. Well, I think everyone's against me. Where did that come from? And is this the woman that I want to be? Do I want to be the woman that no one can say anything to me without me rah-rah or without me biting back? Which means that people aren't even going to be honest with me, which means I will lack in my friendships and real relationships. Stuff like that. I'm talking about every single thing get curious about. And I promise you, once you get curious about it, and once you start asking those 3 questions, write it down. Just have it. Just have it. What do I believe? Why do I believe it? Is it serving me now? Just put it in a journal and keep writing it over and over again. And every time something comes up, pop it in there. I believe this about this. Where did it come from? I got this because I always felt like my parents were yelling at me. No one believed me. Everyone thought I was lying. And so therefore, that's why I'm always on the defense. You got to dig. You got to dig. Okay. Is it serving me? No, it's not serving me. So now who do I want to become? Here's the belief. And let me write opposite of that. And now you keep that in the forefront. So every single time you get the trigger, you say, this is not who I want to be. This is not who I want to be. Do you know the more and more you do that and you shift your thinking, it will literally become a part of you. It will literally become a habit, just like the bad habit, the old habit was a habit. You can shift it. You got to be willing to do it. And it takes work and it takes effort and it takes not being lazy. That's what it takes, but you can do it. You can do it. How do you restart after falling so many times, so many times. Sometimes it's like you have nothing. Hey, you just restart. You just restart. I can't tell you, y'all, how many times I have fallen completely on my face. I can't tell you how many times um, I thought that I had reached a certain place only to realize, oh, no, I hadn't. Only I'm thinking you take 10 steps forward. It was like 15 back. I thought I'm successful now, only to go back to a place where I had no money. I thought, oh my God, this relationship is for me. This you, God, this you. Only for 3 years later, God to be like, no, that was for that season. It no longer serves you. It might have been me then. It's not me now. My grace is lifted. And how much it would feel like I'm failing. But I want to tell you this. You got to tell yourself the truth. So your words that you speak to yourself matter. And so I stopped using negative things to myself. I'd be like, okay, God, it just didn't work out. I'm going to go where you go. I want to be where you are. When your hand moves, I want to move. And if I made the wrong decision, now I need to hear you even clearer. I need to hear you even, I need your wisdom. And I stopped beating myself up. That's what I stopped doing because I didn't deserve it. You don't deserve it. And here's the way you know you don't deserve it, because God doesn't do that to us. We do that to ourselves. Do you know most of the time when I felt at my worst and depressed, it was me beating up Michele. Now the world can do it, but you do it better than anybody else could ever do it. You don't deserve it. You got to stop it. And it requires intention. It requires intention. It requires you saying, I'm not going to do that to myself. If I made a mistake, I'm going to ask for forgiveness, apologize if I must. If this not right, create a boundary if I must. But I'm not about to beat myself up. There is therefore no condemnation. Do you understand? Because the thing about beating yourself up, you can get stuck there. It will paralyze you. And if you do it, then you'll allow other people to do it and you'll be stuck. And you will not move forward. Do you know how many times I literally had to fight through my own thoughts? Because listen, sis, you better get the information that I'm getting. You better start doing this work, because if you don't slay your mind, if you don't tell your mind what to do, it will slay you. Do you know depression is higher than it's ever been? Do you know the suicide rate is greater than it's ever been? Why? Because people not putting nothing in. We out here believing junk, watching junk, and then wanting a result that is favorable in our life. Doesn't work that way. Cut the TV off, get the book in hand, be still, read your word, pour in, so that when the time of adversity comes, you got something to speak to. You got something that comes out of you automatically. No. Okay, that didn't work out for me, but I win. I'm a winner. And all you have to do, let me tell you something else that helped me. Go back, write down, think about a time in your life that you won, where you thought you weren't going to win, and like you pushed and you were resilient and you pushed through. Because see, what happens sometimes is that the more and more we have to be resilient, sometimes we get mentally tired. And sometimes the question is, God, why does this have to be so hard? Why does this continually happen to me? And here's my question though, why not you? Because you got it. You got what it takes. You have it within you. But you have to speak to the power that's within you. You got to speak to it. You know how to say, like, speak to the queen that you are. Speak to your soul. Speak to the person that is within. No, I win. And I might cry. I might, because I can. But when I'm finished, here we go. Okay, let's go. What's next? I got this. God, you chose me. Therefore, you'll cover me. Therefore, I've seen you do it before. Cat's out the bag. I'm just going to go back and look at the replay real quick and know that ain't nothing changed. and I could get through this. That's what you do. That's what you do. I hope that helped you. Let me see how I can I'm going back. Okay, here we go. How many women here have experienced the actual fear of doing something because you just might be successful? And what is that? Um, I've done that before in my life too. Self-sabotage. Because somewhere in your soul, you don't feel like you're deserving of the success. That's why. That's why. And let's dig deep and figure out where that came from and why. You dig deep, figure out where that came from and why. You're People are afraid of being super successful. Because it could be you don't want to lose the relationships that you have. It could be that you don't want people to think that you become different. It could be it's like, okay, who am I if I do get what God gives? If I do get what I want, who am I then? And so most of the time people say they want something, but do they really? And the other thing is, are you open to receive it? If God gave you everything right now, are you open to receive it? Would you even recognize it? And the truth is, you wouldn't recognize it with the vision that you have right now. But when you start pulling back layers, when you start questioning your belief system, when you start saying, okay, who am I? Why do I believe this about myself? And you start doing the work to dispel those beliefs, it's like layers start coming off. Layers of your vision start coming off. And then when it shows up, you'll recognize it. And not only will you recognize it, once you do this work, you'll be able to sustain it. It will live. It will have a permanent place in your life. Guess what? If you got what you wanted right now, you would not be able to sustain it. And it might kill you. That's what people don't understand when you don't do your work. And God is a good father. If he gave it, because you listen, remember how they say, be careful what you pray for? I promise you he answers prayers. But you want to pray for his will, not for your own, honey, not for your own. Because I prayed for many things that I got. And I'm like, Lord, and it taught me. Even if I think I want it, I'm going to question it. Because I only want what's good for me, what's best for me. And sometimes you don't fully know that. But once you become self-aware, once you are able to like take some of the layers off by doing this work, you'll actually be able to sit still and then pray about it. Know that God has answered it and keep moving, but not move on that thing until you get the actual answer. You don't have to rush. But it's like, take your time and hurry up. So when you are constantly in a space of becoming, the things that you desire will come. The problem is people want the things, they want the money, they want all of the exterior, all of the outside stuff, and they don't want to become. And if they got all of that stuff, this is why people misuse their power. This is where drugs come in, because now you don't know what to do with it. You don't know what it's for. Because I promise you, when you get what you want, you understand that it's not fully for you, and it ain't even no fun if the homie can't have none. That's a little hood, but you know what I'm saying. I got that in me. You understand what I'm saying. So yeah, this part, doing the work, and reminding yourself that you are worthy, that your value is inherent. Do you know what inherent means? Look up the word inherent. Simply because you are here, sis. Simply because you are here, you are worthy of the life that you desire. You could be somewhere else. Simply because God said you are here and I chose you, you are worthy of the life you desire. No matter what anyone says. No matter what anyone says. You just have to believe it for yourself. And so that might help you with the fear of being successful. Do you know how many times you will want a good man and he might come, but you wouldn't recognize him because you're so used to your dysfunction? Dysfunction can become normal. What I used to think about myself was normal. And I remember laying in the bed one night saying, it's got to get better than this. I said, if it ain't no better than this, then when I close my eyes, please allow me not to wake up. This is my truth. And you see how I walk in my power today? I'm telling you, I got the blueprint. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple more and then we out of here. But we be here tomorrow. So listen, let me interject this. We will be here tomorrow. And if you missed a portion of this, go back on. I believe I have to ask my team, but I believe they'll keep it up till midnight. I will leave the challenge open. Tell all your friends. I want all women to sign up for this. I want all women to have this. I want all of us to understand that whatever level you are on right now, there is still better. There is still better. Until you close your eyes, there is still better. Okay. And I hope that some of these comments, if anyone else can see any of these comments in here, I hope that it is helping someone else, knowing that you're not alone, that you are not alone. Okay, last year I lost my job. 7 days later, my daughter died. And 15 days later, I found out that the man, hold on, baby. I found out that the man I love was cheating the entire relationship. I went from a size 14 to a 2. And I have this fear of failure. Why, boo? It got to get better from here. You have been through that part. You have been through the worst. And you're still here? Don't you be afraid to fail. You will not fail. You will not fail. And let me tell you how powerful, when you fully get through this, how powerful your story is to other women. How powerful your resilience is. This is what I'm talking about when I say step in your power. I call it your pretty power. That pretty power is your resilience. That pretty power is, even in the face of adversity, sis, you want it, you want this life. You want this life. Even in the face of pain, you still getting up, putting one foot in front of the other. If that don't tell you how much God loves you and how powerful you are, so you don't have to fear failure. You what you need to do is tell the devil, you should have took me down when you could. Cause now I'm gonna gain strength. And you tried to sucker punch me, but I'm going to knock your teeth out. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get better. I'm going to become more resilient. And I'm going to tell every woman I know. I'm going to tell every woman I know that she can make it. I promise you, sis, I don't know who you are, but God loves you so much. And there is so much ahead of you. And there are so many lives for you to change. You are the person that when you walk into the room, when you get this, you're going to shift the atmosphere for real. For real. For real. All right, you guys. I love y'all. I could stay here with y'all all night. But I can't. I'm going to be back tomorrow, 7:30, the same time. Somebody said I had to sign in under my friend account. I'm not at home. But you here. This is what we do. This is what it is we do. When you want something, you do exactly what it takes to get it. Okay. And on that note, you want better? You want better for yourself? Then you will be willing to do what it takes to get it. Divorce yourself from lazy. Divorce yourself from telling yourself you can't do it, that this is it. You can do it, and this is not it. You ain't even scratched the surface of your better. You haven't even scratched the surface of your better. And this is why we are doing this. I'm literally, we're going to locate right where you are. I'm the compass. I am the compass. I'll locate where you are, and then we're going to guide you to your better. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. We got 2 more days, but I can't wait what's in store because I already know. I already know what's going to happen. We are going to shift the atmosphere. I'm telling y'all what I know. Cut that TV off. Get in your read, journal, sit still, do the work. This is part of the work. What do I believe? Why do I believe it? Is it serving me right now? Okay, one more and then I'm gone, y'all. I might have got all of them right now anyway. You are slowly healing. Let me see something. I'm struggling to believe I'm qualified. This is really helping me. You are qualified. You are qualified. And when you understand that, even when you're afraid, you'll do it. Do you know how many things I've done? Let me tell you something. Do you know how many things I've done that I didn't feel qualified for? You talking about a girl that was pregnant at 17. I was pregnant in high school. You talking about that girl. You talking about that girl that was on social services. You talking about that girl. You talking about this one. This one right here. You talking about that one. The one now that teaches women. That one. You're not going to fail at this. You are qualified. God has qualified you. And when you remind yourself that He has qualified you, when He's qualified you, you can do anything. That doesn't mean you won't have to work. That doesn't mean that in your private time, you should do what it takes to become better and to master whatever it is your craft is. But you've been qualified. You got to know you're qualified. That's it. And you are. And you are. All right, y'all. That's it for me tonight. I am so excited that we are embarking on this journey together. And again, I'm honored to be here with you. Um, this is me going from the Michele that I've been, the one that was pretty with all the designs and the clothes and all that. And I'm still that child, don't get it twisted. But now to the Michele that God has called me to be. And it is my better. And I endeavor to show you how to reach your better too. So come back tomorrow. Do your homework. If y'all aren't in the private Facebook community, jump in the Facebook community, say hello to each other. It's private. It's only the people that are on here. And let's do this work. Let's do this work. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I love